This week, Paradox Interactive dove into the sound and music of Cities: Skylines 2. They went into how the city sounds and music were created for their new game. I do have to say this, I don't know a lot about sound effect design or anything to do in that nature, but I do know this. If a game has good sound effect design, it can only highlight the game and make it more immersive. So it's kind of nice to see Paradox Interactive put in all of this effort for the sound design of their new game. So let's go ahead and dive into it and see what Paradox Interactive has to say. As we already know from past feature highlights, city services are a big part of the game. That means the sounds of these city services are no different. They put the focus on city service buildings when working on sound design, giving them more unique sounds that can reflect the building functionality and provide more information on its status. As we already know, they are also adding bigger buildings in the new game, so that means they also have to have dynamic audio sources. This source reacts to the camera position. This is to make sure that the player can hear it properly in every corner of the map. These sounds don't only react to the camera, it's also affected by the time of day, temperature, and upper building conditions. Another source of sound is the ambience. This is dependent on the zone you're in, weather, and other occurrences. You'll also hear your citizens and their vehicles and pets. They also talked about audio grouping. They stated this was a challenge for them because of the number of audio sources and transitions between near and far sound. They fixed this by now recognizing the distance and numbers of audio sources in relations to the camera. This is definitely a good thing because you don't want to hear all the cars passing by and noise from buildings and people all at the same time. It will now number how many audio sources you can hear based on your distance. We can now dive into the music of Cities: Skylines 2. The music was composed by Joni Valtonen. He worked on the soundtrack for Cities: Skylines and was happy to accept Colossal Order's request to compose Cities: Skylines 2. Joni stated that he originally composed two pieces, a piece for the menu and a main theme. He used the theme of city building to build his music, and he stated this: "City building takes time and things evolve gradually. That is what I wanted the music to reflect." He also described the menu piece as this: "You hear an opening fanfare, after which the music settles. The main theme then introduced by a clarinet, and then further you go within the piece. The more the theme gets up or builds up, it gets bigger and bigger until finally the music reaches a loud, bright, and majestic point." He explained a lot more about how he composed the music and the main theme in the development diary. I really do recommend you go and read it and see what he had to say. We will also have the return of the radio in the new game. You'll have Public Citizen Radio, which learns more classical, miscellaneous music. And then you also have Urban City Radio, which is more themed around popular music. Each of these networks have a list of radios to choose from. These stations do have ads and talk shows, which you can disable, although they will also have more capability than that. They can also play news and service announcements, which will be based on facts that are happening in your city. It won't surprise me if they also add more networks or radio stations of future DLCs. Matter of fact, I believe they actually have a few planned already. But that's all we have for today. Just want to give you guys a heads up. Next week, I will be posting my update later in the week due to me being out of town next Monday. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.